My name is Linda Sewnarain. My business is called 5-Star BEE Compliance. We were founded in 2015, so we're 10 years old this year. It's a huge milestone for us. We do BEE verifications, something of a grudge purchase for most people, but if you're looking to be successful in the business industry, a BEE certificate is a must. We are accredited with SANAS, which is linked to the government. It is an institution that accredits companies against certain standards. And the BEE verification field is very tight, I should say. There's not many verification agencies out there in South Africa that do BEE. And KZN, I would say maybe 20 to 25 companies. And in the industry, 5-Star BEE compliance is respected. Our clients range from big to small. Our biggest client, one of our clients is WOA. We have Richards Bay Minerals. We have people like Ernst & Young, Mazars Group. That's just to name a few. But over the 10 years, we've done more than 5,000 BEE certificates. And the good thing is that the BEE certificates are renewable annually. So it's constant business coming in, thank goodness. We maintain our client satisfaction. Our clients are most important to us. Without our clients, we'll never have a business. So with us, we try to keep our clients happy, but most of all, we are seen as a little bit tough in the industry. It's a standard we like to keep. And what else can I tell you about 5-Star? Oh, we're national, so we have presence in Cape Town. We have presence in Johannesburg as well. But we do travel to all the other nooks and crannies of South Africa. And I think that's the best thing I enjoy about the business. It's the travel. We get to see a lot of places in South Africa that we would not have seen previously. So it gives my staff, myself, a lot of opportunities. We have 11 permanent staff in KZN. I've got 4 external staff contracted to us, and I've got staff in Johannesburg and a branch in Cape Town. It's not a happy story, but it didn't start off as a happy story. I was working for a company called iQuad, and I was the regional director, and unfortunately they had a takeover. So it was an opportunity for me to go on my own at that time. You wouldn't believe it, but I didn't have the money to do it. I couldn't, because the license accreditation cost was huge, and it was something that I couldn't afford at that time. It so happened I went to a few clients and I said to them, you know me, and this is what I want to do. And they turned around and said to me, we trust you. Why don't we pay you a deposit for our BEE, and you can use that deposit to pay for your accreditation. And that's how we started, with the good grace of other people. And to date, we give that back in the business. And from there, we've grown. It was just 2 of us in a little office. We now own our own building, so we've grown a lot. And 5-Star has given us a lot of other opportunities. With anything legislation driven, we are, open to the world. And anything that changes in South Africa could change our business at any day. So we've decided to diversify. So from 5-Star, we were able to, the first other business that we opened was a holiday home in the Drakensberg, which we put on Airbnb. It's doing very well at the moment. Then we opened up a venue venue business with events coordination. So we do the deco. We've got a fully fledged functional venue that runs as a QCTO accredited hair and beauty salon as well. So through 5-star, we were able to do all that. We even opened up a construction company recently where we are building property and selling to the market. So it's not maintenance-wise, it is actually just purely buying the space and building the property. So from one business, it's grown to different, very different industries, you know. When I first started the hair and beauty, and I said to myself, my God, what are you getting yourself into? You know, you don't know anything about hair and beauty. But I've learned a lot, you know, and you know, we never stop learning. You know, to have the opportunity to improve and to learn is one of the best things you can find in life, and you're never too old to learn. Never. I mean, I teach some of my young staff things that they didn't know, so yes, it's good. Yes, so we enjoy what we do as well, which is very important. You know, a few years ago, I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis, and you made me think of that now, my biggest dream. My biggest dream was to travel, to go on a holiday overseas. And my husband hates traveling. You know, he supported me throughout all my businesses and throughout all the challenges that I've had and the late nights that I've had. And then when I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis, for a while they thought it was lung cancer. Sarcoidosis is a disease that affects the lining of the lungs. And I went on heavy cortisone for a while. And then he says to me, you know, what do you want? What do you want to do? I said to him, I want to go on a holiday. And he says, where? And I said, to Greece. And I'm grateful that I got that opportunity to travel. Another dream of mine is, of course, to see my kids successful, which I've achieved. You know, while they were little, we always said it wasn't easy, especially when you working. My husband was working at the post office. And, well, you know what kind of salary you get at the post office, right? It was difficult to make ends meet. And I've always said to myself, you know, if my kids are successful, it shows a lot about how we brought them up and what we've done for them. And I'm grateful to say that both my kids are engineers today. They both have made it in life. And that's my dream, to see my kids succeed in life. Also my staff, I've taken them now as if they're part of the family. And I've seen many of them go and do bigger things, become transformation managers in companies. So it's been quite achieving, fulfilling to have people leave you, as much as it's a bit difficult and it's hard so, but they've achieved things in their life that they would not have if I have not taught them what they need to know. So it gives me a sense of achievement. I'm very grateful to my clients. So once a year I host a Women's Day function. It's a beautiful function that we have for about 150 ladies. It just depends on the venue for the day and how many we can accommodate. But we do have the ladies come in. They have a lovely time. We don't charge for this function. It's just something for us to say thank you. You know, we don't say that enough. So we say to our clients, we appreciate you. And we get our clients coming in from Durban, from Joburg, from everywhere, Cape Town, which is very good. So it also shows their commitment to us and our commitment to them. The person that inspired me the most is Priya Hassan. I'll never forget the day. It was in 2010. My daughter had just finished matric. And I was sitting in her offices. Geez, I get goosebumps when I talk about that day. Priya says to me, Linda, you got to start your own business. And I said to her, Priya, I need to, because I'm like barely managing to make ends meet. And she says to me, you have to. What will it take? And she was willing to help me financially. She was willing to help me, and she did help me financially. She coached me throughout the way, and that was my biggest inspiration, was prayer. And the second one was my mom. I lost my mom 10 years now, 9 years now. And with my mom, she never went to school. So she never had a formal education. But we were brought up, we grew up a very hard way. So we lost our dad when we were very young. So my mom used to go and sell things to make ends meet and to put food on the table. And my mom said to me, the best thing you can do is get an education. The person that was not educated herself made sure we all got educated. Now, I come from a very big family. I've got 5 brothers, and I'm the only sister. I'm the only girl. My eldest brother actually graduated to become a doctor from that same household. You know, we lived in one little room, not even bigger than this room here. And I've got 5 professional brothers now, and with me owning a business. So whatever she did right at that time. And I wish I had appreciated it more. The problem is with us while we're younger, we don't realize what we have. And we don't realize the effort it takes. So with my mom, it's only later on in life did I realize, and when I started opening my own business, did I realize what goes into it. And whether I liked it or not, she ran a business then, because she supported us. She paid for everything, clothes, school fees, you name it. And we were able to go to school and have an education. We went to high school. We all did very well in matric. And we actually went to university, all because of her. When it comes to the industry, I'm looked at as someone that can assist. So if a competitor calls me and said to me, I need something for BEE, I will give it to them gladly. So it's not something that a lot of people don't share. I don't see why not. There is work out there. We all need to get the work. And I say to my grandsons, sharing is caring. You shouldn't be able to be afraid to share. I help my competitors because it makes me stronger. It puts me in, it gives me a sense of achievement that I'm able to help other people. But I'm also very careful in that not to be taken advantage of, because it can happen sometimes. No, I would say all of the businesses that I have are great achievements, including the house in the Berg. We used to go to Drakensberg every Saturdays. So for 1 year, we practically didn't have any weekends. So it was a tough challenge. Building that was an achievement. Building the training venue was another great achievement. And every little addition we make to it, I'm grateful for. The challenges I would look at in our business, in any of the businesses, is keeping clients happy. What we do is not pleasant. It's something that clients have to get if they want it, but the perception is as soon as I pay you, I can get my certificate. Compliance is not easy. It's not something people enjoy. We have to make clients understand that everything comes at a price. And compliance is boring, it's tedious, and it's very time consuming. The challenge that we have is getting the clients to understand our perspective, and not just clients, consultants, to understand our perception of compliance, and to make sure that they understand that whatever we're doing is in their best interest. It's not easy, especially with the timing. Everybody wants everything tomorrow or yesterday. So that's a huge challenge for us as well. Also, I would say staffing. I find that I think I can add trainer to my long list of chores that I do. So I'm continuously training new staff. This industry is very stressful, and I find that people leave not because they can't do the job, but because they cannot handle the time frames. They cannot handle the pressure that this job brings. Unfortunately, it's not an 8 to 4 kind of job. It eats a little bit into your lifestyle, and the youngsters these days cannot cope with something like that. And I try to ensure that they have their work-life balance, but the challenges does hit where they work, after you train them, they'll work for 3-4 months and then they'll leave. So you find that you're constantly having to train. Training for a BEE analyst takes up to at least 6 months. So you find that constantly training has to take place. My advice I would give to younger girls trying to follow in my footsteps is go for it. Make sure you know what you're doing. Be confident. When you enter a room and if you don't know what you're doing, look confident. Try to make conversation. And what I am doing is very legally and very politically aligned. So you need to be able to know what you're talking about. If you don't know what you're talking about, you're going to get lost. So you need to make clients trust you, and the only way you can make them trust you is by being blatantly honest yourself. If you tell them how it is, they will understand. Do not sugarcoat anything. You got to say it as it is. If you sugarcoat, it gets lost, and you will lose the interest of your client. Being honest, being reliable. If you say you want to do something, you must do it. You must not beat around the bush. You need to get the work done. If you make any commitments, you need to keep to it. My next goal is Cape Town. I like to buy a property in Cape Town. Also let it out on Airbnb, and then hopefully retire someday in Cape Town. But I don't know, because I've got 2 lovely grandkids, so whether I'm going to leave them and go to Cape Town is another story. But yes, that's my future goal. That's business-wise. Personal-wise, I'm hoping to retire in about 5 years' time. I'm hoping. So whether I am going to or not is another story. I don't know if I will actually be happy with doing nothing. I'm that type of person that needs to have a lot going on. I love multitasking, so I think the pressure is what keeps me going. So with future goals, maybe open up another branch in Johannesburg as well. I'm trying to diversify the business a little bit. Some of the ways that I find balance in my life. Oh, I've got a new hobby, which I just love, right? My hobby is resin making. I don't know if you heard of resin. It's a chemical. Actually, it's 2 products that you mix together, and you can make these beautiful things out of it. So for my Women's Day function, I decided to do something that personalized the function. I wanted the women to understand how important they are in my life, in my business life. So I've made them key rings with the resin. So you get the mold and you pour the resin in. The best thing is, when I'm working with the resin, I've got to have gloves on. So I cannot touch my phone. So no matter who calls me at that time, that 2-3 hours is my time. So I'm able to get lost in it. So I'm enjoying it a lot.